Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER 1995. We're going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany, then coming back to the Zurich International Airport, runway 14 for an Lszh localizer. Landings run on with the cockpit of the pre-takeoff preparation of the PMDG simulation Microsoft Flight Simulator X Boeing 777-300ERX. I'm gonna start showing you the cockpit instrumented displays and the functions of the Boeing 777-300ER airplane. I'm gonna start with the primary display that displays the airspeed indicated. Um, that displays the airspeed indicated, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the ground speed, the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic heading and track, the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, and magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have also the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, with barometric altitude selected above the sea level, and the target altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. We also have the altitude indicator with the pitch ladder degrees and the bank angle in decrease of the aircraft. We have also the Lszh localizer, the horizontal localizer and the vertical glide slope, the crossbars, and the setting frequency. Also the flight director crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft, and the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have also the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies. We have the vertical rate of climb or descent of the aircraft in tens, hundreds, and thousands of feet per minute, the VSI, the vertical speed indicator, tape, and also we have this determines the trigonometric angle in degrees, the steepness of the trigonometric angles the aircraft climbs or descends. We have also the flight mode annunciator with the autopilot and the auto throttle later on in vertical navigation modes. So we have also the navigation display that displays the GPS position, the inertial reference position of the aircraft, the magnetic heading and track, the magnetic north pole and true north pole, and the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. So you can see also that. We can see the terrain and weather reflections from the weather radar. You can see the terrain elevation with red, yellow, and green and blue also. The lakes and the sea. We can see also other aircraft that fly around our own aircraft. We have the transporter, the ADS-B and ADS-C transmitter receiver that transmits and receives our own frequency and receives from other aircraft. And generate the TAKEOFF system, the traffic collision and alert system warning. So you can see the diamond shaped aircraft that fly around our own aircraft. You can see the distance they are located, the direction, the altitude difference, and the airspeed. So you have in the radar display of the aircraft, the display of other traffic, and also the weather and the terrain. You can see also other airports, the distance and where they are located in the GPS system. Also the aircraft can find its position using the air data inertial reference unit, the ADIRU, its position in the GPS system. I'm gonna show you how to do that, the coordinate. We have also the position of the aircraft, and we have the flight management computer. We're going to use the flight management computer and the CDU, the control display unit of the flight management computer. I will input all the data of the aircraft for takeoff, like the takeoff that includes the takeoff weight, that includes the empty weight plus the passenger plus the cargo plus the trip fuel plus the reserve fuel plus the taxi fuel. We're gonna make calculations about the takeoff speeds. I'm gonna input the flaps we're gonna use for takeoff, the flaps position. I will show you how to extend and retract the flaps for doing that. You can see the flaps handle over here that increase the surface area of the wing. So we're gonna have also the minor dynamic chord position, the Mach calculated using this data. The Mach is used also to calculate the center of gravity of the aircraft, the minor dynamic chord position in percentage of the chord of the forward wings of the aircraft, and also to set the horizontal tail stabilizer, trim, position for takeoff, and then for flying. So we're gonna use all this data using the flight management computer. It's gonna give us the takeoff speeds for this runway, the V1, V rotate, and V2. We're gonna input all the data of the runway for takeoff, like the departure, airport, and runway, the runway length, the runway conditions, if it is ice, dress, or ice or wet, the wind direction and speed, also the barometric pressure and the density of the air, the temperature of the air, and also the wind direction, and also the takeoff weight of the aircraft, and the flaps, and the trim stabilizer position of the horizontal tail. So we're gonna have the takeoff speeds. I'm gonna set up also a flight plan, horizontal and vertical flight path, flight plan route using the flight management computer. I will input the departure runway, its length, its slope, and also the seats, the standard instruments, departure. We're gonna use for climb also intermediate waypoints and fixes, for cruise, for descent, and then we're gonna have the destination, airport, and runway. I'm gonna input all the data like the stars, the terminal, arrival, waypoints, and fixes, and we're gonna have also the destination, airport, runway for landing. We're gonna have the ILS localizer, the ILS localizer, the horizontal localizer, and the vertical glide slope, the instrument landing system, its frequency. So we're gonna have also the aircraft is gonna be guided with that for landing, either manually or automatically using the autoland. So I'm gonna show you this manually. Then I'm gonna show you the autopilot and flight director system panel. I will show you the autopilot engage and disengage switch, the auto throttle left and auto throttle right engage and disengage switch, the flight director engage and disengage switch. We have the airspeed select knob. We can select an airspeed in nautical miles per hour, knots, or Mach speed. And we have two main modes for that. We have the variable thrust mode and the fixed thrust mode. So we have the modes for that. When we engage the airspeed select knob over here in the autopilot and flight director system panel, you can see the airspeed, the heading, the vertical speed, and the altitude. I will show you closer up view now. So you can see the airspeed over here, the heading, the vertical speed, and the altitude. You can see also the primary flight display here, the navigation display, the flight management computer, the left and the right. Over here, the third one, the upper and the lower ACAS that display the engine instructions. So we have the fixed thrust mode, like for takeoff, climb, or descent. We have maximum continuous thrust for climb or idle thrust for descent. So in either case, the aircraft adjusts its airspeed by varying the rate of climb or descent of the aircraft by using the horizontal trim stabilizer position, the auto trim, or the horizontal tail elevator. So while it maintains a fixed thrust mode, like in the climb, the maximum climb, or the takeoff, or the idle thrust for descent. And also we have when the aircraft is flying in a horizontal flight path attitude, like in the cruise or the approach and landing, the aircraft adjusts its airspeed by varying the thrust commanded by the engines. So we command the engines. We have the General Electric 90 G90 turbo fan turbocharged engines installed in our aircraft, one in the left wing, one in the right wing, for symmetrical thrust and redundancy. Each one contains a gearbox. The gearbox gives us IDG, integrated drive generator, alternate current power, electrical power, and hydraulic also, and burst right there. And also contains the FAREX. The FAREX are the full authorities electronic control computers. One is so per engine, dual channel redundancy, one channel stays, the other takes over. Control monitor and displays all the data you see about the engines here in the upper and the lower ACAS, engine control system display. Also, if we engage the autopilot, the thrust command, the airspeed over here, and the autopilot and the auto throttle, remove the thrust levers to a position. This gives a signal to the FAREX to command the engine thrust required for an airspeed or flight attitude of the aircraft. So I'm gonna show you also how to do that. Other things we have in the autopilot, we have the LNAV, the VNAV, the lateral navigation, the vertical navigation, which is interconnected with the flight management computer. We have the bank angle limit for cruise, the heading select node, the heading hold switch. We have also the vertical rate of climb and descent of the aircraft in tens, hundreds and thousands of feet per minute, or the flight path angle, the FPA in degrees, that determines the trigonometric angle in degrees, the steepness the aircraft can climb or descend. And we have also the altitude select knob and the altitude hold switch. And we have also the localizer for the Lszh localizer approach switch, and the approach switch for the all-round function of the Boeing 737-300ER. Then I will show you also the thrust levers, how you can adjust the thrust lever. The thrust is commanded by the engine by moving the thrust levers, or use the auto throttle. With that, I will show you the overhead panel, the electrical that I told you here. You can see the electrical left and right engine IDG, the brake drive generator from the engines, produce alternate current. We have the backup generators also, so each one gives us 120 to 200 volts, 120,000 watts of electric power, 400 hertz, 28 volts, 48 hours from the batteries. And also we have the APU, the auxiliary power unit. We need the APU, the auxiliary power unit, to start the engines. We have the hydraulics over here, the hydraulic pumps, the left and right engine drive, and the C1 and C2. The air pressurizer, also hydraulic tanks, which receives pressurizer from here, from the left and the right engine of the APU. We need also pressurizer from the APU to start the engine starter. I will show you later. So we need to start this small auxiliary power unit. We have also the auxiliary data interference unit, the primary flight control computers, the passenger oxygen, the rammer turbine, the electronic engine control for the engines, the fire extinguishers. We get down some fuel in flight, and we have the left and the right wing tank, the center tank, the fuel booster pumps, and the crossfeed valves, the cabin pressurization system, the wing and edging on the ice. So we need the pressurizer for wing and edging on the ice, hydraulic fluid pressurization, cabin pressurization, air conditioning, ventilation, and starting the engines. So I'll show you all these things. Then I will come now to the high flight controls. I will show you how you can control, how you can climb or descend the aircraft. Also bank roll left and bank roll right using the flight controls, the rudder pedals also. So you can see both sides are moving together. So I will show you now, I will talk to you right now about the flight controls. I'm using this side stick to control the flight controls of the aircraft. So you can see I'm using this the Logitech Extreme 3D in this simulation. It's a very good side stick. Its movement is proportional to the yoke deflection of the flight controls of the Boeing 777. When I'm flying, so I can adjust the flight path of the aircraft and have directional control. Also I can adjust the engine's functions. I will show you now. You can see here, so we have over here this side stick. So you can see I can climb and descend like this. Also I can make maneuvers like left and right. You can see also both sides. So hope you have a good view for that. So I can climb the aircraft like this, use the horizontal tail. Over here you see I'm using the horizontal tail like this. Also descend, also use the ailerons and the spoilers and the rudder pedals. So you can see here so hope you have a nice view of that. the flight controls that I'm explaining right now. So you can see here having the side stick, I can climb, also I can descend. I show you the outside view of the same thing of using the side stick. So you can make turns to the left and turns to the right, like this. You can see the side stick deflection is very fast. Also the yoke, you can leave neutral. You can use the horizontal trim stabilizer, and also you can use the engines here, move forward and aft the thrust levers, like this. So when I'm on flight, I use both the side stick. I can see where the thrust lever's position is, like this, over here. So it's a good thing to have all the controls, like the flight controls and the engines together, and the horizontal trim. You can see the horizontal trim of the horizontal tail over here. I press this switch, I can trim up and trim down the horizontal tail of the aircraft. We have also the other trim. So this is generally what you do: climb the horizontal tail of the elevator, climb and descend, pitch up and pitch down. Also the ailerons, bang roll left and bang roll, you can see both sides are moving together, bang roll right. So climb, turns, and also the rudder pedals, very important, left and right turns, and the engines thrust lever function. You also have over here the tiller for the nozzle spring in the ground. So I hope you like the flight controls. I'm using this like this also in flight, make small corrections. So now we'll talk to you about the rest of the systems. I will show you also the overhead panel, make an engine start demonstration. Before flying the aircraft, I will set up the flight management computer, and I will make a complete flight from takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, and approach and landing. So thank you very much again for joining me in this video. I'm Thomas Hatsios, the German-American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER. I will start now. So we start with these systems here. So you can see also a nice view of the aircraft from outside. So I hope you like it. So we have here, you can see the primary flight display. You can see in the primary flight display we have the airspeed tape, the airspeed indicated, the ground speed, the airspeed selected from the autopilot, the flight director system panel. Also we have the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic heading and track. You can see the magnetic heading and track, also the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world over here. The target out, we have the pitch altitude here of the aircraft, pitch with 2.5 degrees, 5 degrees, 7.5, 10 degrees, 12.5, 15, 7.5 degrees for pitch or pitch up or pitch down. You can see also the bang angle, the flight director, the takeoff, go around, the flight mode and accelerator, the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies, and the target altitude, our own altitude right now, the barometric pressure also, and the barometric altitude, and the vertical, this is the vertical rate of flying descent of the aircraft. So when you have a pitch altitude, like a positive pitch altitude in flight, your aircraft might be actually descending. You will see the needle going down. If it is climbing, you will see in the middle over here the vertical speed indicator. This needle you have to pay attention when you're airborne. So you have also I told you the magnetic heading and track. You can change over here and add a few things if you like. So you can add always over here we have the meters. We can change the distance. You will see some aircraft flying closer to you, like 10 nautical miles away. And plus 2,400. The other is plus 9,900. We have also the meters, so you can use it's plus 5 nautical miles away. We just spotted one aircraft is coming closer to us, so we will follow that in the navigation display. Over here is plus 2,000 feet. The other is 15 nautical miles away, is farther away. So you can see both aircraft plus 1,100. It's closing in. Now it's plus 5 nautical miles away. So we can use also here the magnetic heading. I'll show you later. On track, the meters, we have the auto throttle left here. You can turn off auto throttle left. You will see the auto throttle left off here. We have both on or both off, like this. So now we have the auto throttle right off. You can turn off completely by moving, by pressing these switch here in the engines. The auto throttle disconnect like this. Press it one time and it will turn off the auto throttle. So we have also here a couple of modes. We have the LNAV and the VNAV. The climb continues with flight level change. We can use this also. The flight director off will turn off this mode if we press like this. Turn off the flight director. So we set the airspeed for flying the aircraft right now after takeoff. We're gonna set it like this, and we have an aircraft coming in. We can see the traffic here. I will show you now. We have the warning and the traffic is coming in, so we can see the aircraft is closer over here to us. So we just spotted in the navigation display an airplane is coming for landing. So it just came by, crossed by to us. So you can see still here. It's over here, it's warning, it's moving down. So you can see the traffic over here. The warning just went off. So we have here also we can select a further away range. You will see more airports also. Meters, hectopascals. This is of measure, so this is the FS panel. You can pick a few things. We have also the magnetic heading. I told you over here. We have the true also. Now we have the true North Pole for navigation. Over here the geographic North Pole. Now we have the magnetic again. Leave this like that. We have inches of mercury, hectopascals, 1013 hectopascals. We change back to inches. Over here 253 nautical miles. This is our airspeed, our bank angle limit over here as we fly. So this is the autopilot and flight director system panel. We will set the heading or track of the runway we're gonna use for takeoff. Heading, track, hold, and you can select and deselect by pressing this switch. So we have also the altitude. We can set like 35,000. And we have the hold also, and a couple more modes. I'll show you now. So now we have the flight director on. The autopilot is off, so we can fly manually. You can see so we have the heading, hold, the flight level change, speed, the target airspeed and the target altitude over here. For this mode, heading hold, flight director on, target airspeed, target altitude from this takeoff elevation. So this is gonna be a manual heading hold and flight level change speed. We can use the other modes also, like the altitude. We can use both flight director off on. So we have the altitude and the heading hold now. We can use also the autopilot on. You will see the autopilot is on now with this mode, the flight level change and the heading hold, and this target airspeed, target altitude, and we can use also autopilot off. We press out this switch here, you see, we press out this again one more time. So you have the autopilot is disconnected, you have the warning, and you have the autopilot disconnected with the red letter here, autopilot disconnect. So reset again the autopilot on. And we can also use the altitude here, altitude with the heading hold, and we can use the vertical rate of climb and descent, flight path angle that I told you before. So you can use also this slider here, like negative, minus 3.5. You can see the slider moving up down and the switches. So we use minus 3.5 degrees. You will see from the cruise altitude with this mode, the flight path angle, can you hold the autopilot on. This target airspeed, you have to descend like this, minus 3.5 degrees. So the aircraft pitch altitude will be minus 3.5, between the 0 and the minus 5 in the pitch ladder. So you have to pay attention to this purple indication lines. Now I will show you the opposite, the climb. So now we have plus 3.5 degrees. So it's gonna give us a climb rate request over here. So we'll have to climb like this over here with these indications, and the climb is gonna be like this, plus you will see the plus 3.5 degrees, the purple indications for the climb rate of the aircraft. So we're gonna have also other things to show you over here, a couple more, and then show you how to disconnect. So we have also the vertical speed, so we can descend like minus 3,500 feet per minute. It's a different mode than the flight path angle, so it will display vertical speed, heading hold, and the vertical speed, and the rate of descent is gonna be here with this purple indication. You see here this purple line, it will signal the descent rate from the cruise level, actually from 35,000 feet. So if we use the opposite way, we'll have to climb. So, or whatever our flying altitude is, so you see plus 3,500. You see the positive sign now, vertical speed, heading hold. So from this altitude level, so this target airspeed, target elevation is gonna be this purple indication now to climb. So the needle will move up all the way up here to plus 3,500 feet per minute. So this is all for now for the autopilot functions of the Boeing 777. Now I will show you over here the flight controls, the rest of the systems. I will show you, you can use also, you can move the control wheel or press the switch, it will disconnect. Again, the autopilot, you will see the autopilot is disconnected instead of pressing the other switch. So we have to press one more time over here to confirm the autopilot disconnect action. So you will cancel the warning. So also now we can move manually again the flight controls. We can use the horizontal trim stabilizer over here. Also use fast levers now. So the horizontal trim, we have the auto trim, we have the aileron trim here. You can see aileron trim. How many degrees the ailerons is for left and right turns. The horizontal trim over here is for the horizontal tail over here, so you will see the horizontal tail moving up and down. We have also the rudder trim and the ailerons and the spoilers trim here. So you see the horizontal trim stabilizer of the horizontal tail, trim up and trim down. We have also the auto trim from the autopilot and the auto throttle, the automatic trim. So you see the horizontal tail trim stabilizer, its position over here. How many degrees is moving up the horizontal tail up and down. You see right now it's 4 degrees. You can trim up or trim down. So usually the green band is for takeoff and for flying, using the weight of the aircraft and other data. Also you can move this pitch trim, normal and alternate handle. So as I told you, we have the normal trim and the auto trim. If we have a failure of the C or the R over here, the hydraulic systems, you see over here, we're gonna lose the hydraulics. The auto trim of the autopilot and the auto throttle will malfunction, so we have to come here and press out this guarded switch, open it. So you will see in the C and the R, this is the hydraulic system, and the stabilizer, the horizontal tail, CNR from normal to cut out, so you will lose the auto trim function of the Boeing 777. So you'll have only the manual trim order from this control wheel over here, so you will keep trimming as you see this small tab up and down. So you can trim the aircraft like this. So very important to remember while flying to trim the horizontal tail to balance the aircraft over here, the horizontal tail to balance the aircraft in flight. So now we have to do the other things. So we use also the parking brakes. You can see up and down here, parking brakes up. Gates. We have also we have to close this guarded switch. We have the radio and communication panel. You can see we have also the vertical tail, the rudder trim. We don't use that often, and the aileron trim. We have the TAKEOFF system, the traffic collision and alert system over here. You said and see other aircraft. You have the weather and terrain reflections, the weather radar. You have also we have now will come the left and the right engine. You see we have the left engine fire extinguisher and the right engine, and we have the fuel flow, the fuel control switch, the left and the right in the run or the closed positions. Also later when we start the engines, we have also other things to show you around here. So we have the flaps. You can extend the flaps or retract them. The flaps handle, you will see the position here in the upper ACAS. So the upper ACAS displays the engines, also displays some other information like the flaps position, the landing gear extend and retract. You can see the landing gear, the extend and retract, the speed also. You can see some other information like fuel pumps, landing altitude, total fuel on board 46,900 kilograms, the temperature of the fuel. We have also other things, extend, retract, alternate gear and local override, terrain override. So we have also the auto brake and the flap limit speed. So the auto brake maximum or rejected takeoff depending on if you flying for landing or takeoff. So we have again another aircraft. Maybe also you will have some time in the warnings. So it's less than 5 nautical miles away now. So you can see again the aircraft is coming in. The navigation display over here is plus 1000. Now we have a better view, is plus 1200 feet. It's getting closer, it's between the 5 and the 2.5 nautical miles. It's in front of us, plus 1100. It's getting down. So this is the TAKEOFF system and the transponder display. Other aircraft coming in. So I will show you that in a couple of seconds. You can see also here we have the thrust levers, told you the flaps, we have the speed brakes. You can extend the speed brake when the thrust levers are at idle. You can extend the speed brakes like this. Also when the thrust levers are at idle and you extend the speed brakes and you move the thrust levers forward, the speed brakes retract automatically. You cannot extend them unless the thrust levers are at idle. So also you can see now we have the warning again. The aircraft is coming in over here with yellow, and we have another one aircraft just spotted in the navigation display. It's a good thing to spot other aircraft like this. So it's coming also for landing, as you can see. Already just landed. So we have also other things, indications. This is the traffic. We have the thrust reverse, so we extend the speed brakes and we move the thrust reverses. The speed brakes also extend automatically. So you see the reverse over here with green, the N1 and the N2. We're talking about the indication for the engine, so you will see the thrust reverses over here being deployed to slow down the aircraft. We use that only after touchdown and landing, not in flight. So you retract and you extend again. You can see the blocker doors open to reverse the bypasser from forward to slow down the aircraft. So this is how you use, this is how you disarm. So we have the engines, the left and the right. We have the auto throttle. Disconnect over here, you can disconnect the auto throttle. We have the takeoff ground, the thrust reverse. So you can move one engine at a time, forward or aft. If you have an engine failure, you will see. It is also that. One engine at a time. So we have the right engine now, more thrust, 48%. The other is 21.8. So we told you about the percentage also. I moved the other, the left one. So we have the variable thrust also. So you will see again 54% for the left, 31.9 for the right. So we move both together. So this also displays over here. You can see if we move the thrust levers, I give a signal to the FAREX. The FAREX are out of the now the Flught or these electronic control computers. So you see here the signal gives the display the upper and the lower raycast. You use also the autopilot for that, for the airspeed command. So you have 104.6% takeoff limit with green, maximum continuous, the yellow and the red. So we have 104.6%, 22 now in the idle. So we move the thrust levers. You will see the commanded thrust and the actual. It takes some time for the engine to spool up, or then when you move to idle to spool down. So you have to anticipate that when flying, moving up and down the engines. So we have the N1, which is the left engine and the right engine. The N1 is the low speed starter and have the low pressure compressor and binary turbo Honda, which is the engine, the exhaust gas temperature per engine, the bleeder, the pressurizer from the left and the right engine, which also use hydraulic fluid pressurization, cabin pressurization, engine anti-ice and air conditioning ventilation. Also we need bleeder pressurizer to start the engine. We have the N2, which is the high speed starter, and have the high pressure compressor and turbine, which is engine. The fuel flow per engine per hour 1000 kilograms right now, or 1000 pounds. Oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quality, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So you see, I talked to you. We have so I talked to you. We have the General Electric 90G90 turbo fan turbocharged engine installed this Boeing 777-300ER. It's a jet aircraft airliner. So we have a lot of thrust, one on the left wing, one on the right wing, symmetrical thrust in the other stage. One contains a gearbox, the gearbox contains the FADECs are the full auxiliary electronic control computers, one installed per engine. Control monitors and displays the upper and the lower ACAS indications that you see, like the N1. The N1 is the low speed starter inside the low pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbocharged engine, the gross gas temperature per engine, the bleeder pressurizer from the 5th to the 9th stage of the engine, the N2, which is the high speed starter inside the high pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbocharged engine, the fuel flow per engine per hour, the N2, which is a high speed starter inside the high pressure compression turbine of the turbocharged engine, the fuel flow per engine per hour, oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quality, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So we also have the FADECs controls monitors and displays the engine start, engine shutdown, engine failures, the fuel flow, fuel metering unit, the fuel heat exchange heater. Also we have an overpressure inside the engine. The FADECs will command the outflow valves into higher settings, so it will relieve the overpressure from inside the engine. We have an underpressure, you can close them to increase the pressure inside the engine. Also, if we climb from the sea level all the way up to the cruise level, like 20, 30 or 40,000 feet above the sea level, as we climb higher, the air pressure, the oxygen level and the air density becomes less than half of the sea level. Also the temperature of the air becomes freezing, like -30, -40, -50 degrees Celsius. Also the airflow of the air from the front fan stage of the engines, as the aircraft flies faster, like 2 or 3 times the airspeed rate of the sea level. There is a higher intake of air into the engines for compression and fuel mixture, so we have a different fuel mixture every second. So this is done automatically using the FADECs. Also, as we descend from the cruise level from 30 or 40,000 feet back to the sea level, we do the vice versa, the opposite. So it's a good thing to have the FADECs installed into your engines. So I will show you now. I will talk to you about the newtons, first, second, and third law of kinematics of motion, about the Bernoulli theory of fluids, about the aeronautical and aerospace engineering, and I will show you some interesting principles about flying the aircraft, about the wings and aerodynamics. You need to know also about air transport pilot license. So you can see here we have the outside view. You can see over here the aircraft. You can see the weight of the aircraft is divided over the surface area of the wings. You can see we have the vectors from the engines, the left and the right engines, which propulse the aircraft forward. The thrust from the engines overcomes the kinetic and static friction. We have the longitudinal vector, the lateral vector, and the center of gravity vector, the vertical. So we have also the mean aerodynamic chord position. Right here is 25% of the mark of the wings, of the chord of the wings, is where the center of gravity also for the airliner transverses is the position where the maximum aerodynamic lift in the wings occurs. Also the position where the center of pressure of the airflow above the wings also occurs. On the stall, the airflow becomes detached from the top of the wings when the wings are stalled. So also we have this vector here is the center of gravity distance to the horizontal or vertical tail. We have over the surface area of the horizontal or vertical tail, or the distance to the ailerons and spoilers. I will show you now the lever arm or pitch arm is times the distance over the airflow of the air mass over the surface area over the acceleration of the air gravity, and you have the force that can pitch up or pitch down the aircraft in flight, also make turns. This is the lever arm. So we have also the wings here of the aircraft. You can see the bottom surface of the wings is more flat here. So as the aircraft accelerates for takeoff, there is a higher air pressure below the wings, which pressurizes the aircraft wings up into the air using the Bernoulli fluid. Also, the top surface of the wings, there is a higher curvature, so the airflow of the air mass is moving much faster above the wings. So there is a lower air pressure above the wings, which sucks the aircraft up into the air. So this is the things you need to know before going into flight. So I'll show you now the overhead panel and make the engine start the demonstration. So we have here, not losing time, overhead upper panel. So you can see here we have some switches here, the view of the cockpit. This is for disconnect the hydraulic fluid for maintenance. On the ground we have the circuit breakers also for maintenance. If you need something, we have, I'm gonna set the flaps here. So you will see the view from here. The flaps were they're set 15 degrees now for takeoff. Also the instruments from this position. So we have the main instruments of the overhead panel. You can see the ADU with the data against a reference unit that displays all the air data like the airspeed, barometric altitude, the altitude of the aircraft, the laser gyroscopes, GPS receivers, magnetic compass, all these are small switches. We have the primary flight control computers here. We have the electrical, I told you, left engine, right engine, backup generators, the APU also. We need to start the engines like this, and the batteries, primary and APU. So you will see this is gonna give us like a signal that the APU is start in a couple of seconds. Also you can see here's the lighting system of the aircraft and the windshield wipers left and right. We have here the passenger oxygen, the window heat, the rammer turbine, hydraulic fluid, hydraulic pumps. We turn off all the hydraulic pumps. I will show you what will happen. You will see many things go in a failure without the hydraulics. Here's the faults coming up. You will lose all the hydraulic pumps. So you see we have alternate flaps, all the stabilizer with red, hydraulic pressure system, LFC and R, and auto Lszh, auto brake. All these flight controls are lost, so we have to reset over here the hydraulic pumps back to the on, and then to the auto position. So we have also the fire extinguishers here for the cargo, the electronic engine control for the engine, the normal and auto start also, normal and alternate EC mode over here, and the auto start. So you can use the auto start like this, I don't know. You can dump some fuel in flight if you arm this switch and select the tanks and the quantity to remain. To lose weight, we have the left wing and the right wing and the center tank. You can see crossfeed valves, fuel booster pumps. You can see the center tank is empty. We also have the wing and engine on the ice here. The cabin pressurization system, automatic or manually, use the outflow valves open and close to increase or decrease the cabin pressurization and select the landing altitude. This is the main outlook of electric, hydraulic, fuel system, electronic engine control, main systems, cabin pressurization, pressurizer. So we have the pressurizer, left engine, right engine, and the APU. I'm gonna show you what to do now. If you gonna turn off all the pressurizer, you're gonna lose some systems, so we won't have the cabin pressurization. Also some hydraulic here, hydraulic pressure. You see demand C1 and C2 will lose some flight control. So So we need also we cannot start the engines like this. Turn on all the leader sources. So I will show you the last thing before going into takeoff. We have also that CDU. So you can see the flight management computer. I will create the flight plan on the engines. You can see the status, the APU, the oxygen, and the hydraulics. So we go we have the status checklist, normal menu, non-normal menu, resets. So this if you have a failure, communications, navigation, synoptics. You can see the doors of the aircraft are closed and the cabin can be pressurized, the landing gear, the temperature of the brakes, and the pressure of the tires, the electrical, I told you, left engine, right engine, backup generator, the APUs, running where the electric power goes, the main battery, voltage, charger, and charge, and the APU battery, hydraulic, left engine, right engine, C1 and C2 are pressurized also, shut-off valves, you can see 3000 psi, it's left, right, and center system where the hydraulic fluid goes. This is infused hydraulic fluid. Fuel system also. You can see left and right wing engine, low and high pressure fuel valve is on and is fed from the left and the right wing. The crossfeed also is on, so we can balance the fuel between the left and right wing, or have one engine feed from both tanks at the time, or either tank or pumps. So we have the fuel booster pumps forward and aft on. The center tank is empty with yellow crosses, and the APU is fed from the left wing using the DC motor. You can see also minimum fuel temperature here, below which the fuel freezes. So we have the air system, left engine, right engine, the APU unit, the backflow into the engines to start the engine starter. So you can see if we use the thrust levers forward, the pressure increases. This is the 9 states I was telling you of the engines starter. Also we have the flight controls here. So the last thing you can see here before starting the engine, so we can see we have a full control over here of the flight control system. So everything is working normally here, all the flight controls, there is no failures, and the stabilizer thing. So we go back on to the virtual cockpit. We need to turn off both left and right engine like this. So we turn off both left and right engine. You see the overhead are reset. You can see the N1 here. Engine auto start left and engine auto start right, and the engine start down. There is a decrease, also no fuel flow. So if we look outside, you will see both engines are spinning because there is a pressurizer from the APU. So we need only to use the fuel flow back to be on, both these switches, left and right, and we're gonna have engine shut down. Now we're gonna have the fuel flow on. You can see here both engines, the right and the left, and the spinner is spinning faster because we have fuel flow to the engine. So this is all for the engine start. Now we need to make one last step. The electric is back. So we have the FMC here, the menu, the flight management computer, position, initialize, Lszh, the reference airport, 0 fuel weight over here, gross weight, reserves, cruising altitude 35,300 feet here, and the cost index 100%, minimum fuel temperature, the route from this airport at Lszh back to this runway 14. So we have the departure, runway departure, this runway, trans this, arrival, Lszh Transnegrian 1 Alpha, Transamity. So we have the legs here, cancel the discontinuity, activate and execute, and we only need to activate that. Flap, center of gravity, and the takeoff speeds V1, we rotate V2 for this takeoff runway, and we have the purple color. Everything is set, so we can disarm the parking brakes here and go for takeoff. So parking brakes disarm, advance the thrust levers, we take the clearance for takeoff from the air traffic control. So we use also the tiller, the nozzle steering here, and the rudder pedals. So you see how we turn the aircraft. So we have the runways open, we can go proceed for takeoff. So align here with the runway center line, parking brakes on. We have the LNAV here, the range, so you see everything is set. We have the radar scan and the ILS localizer, the flight plan, where to fly, the flaps are set, and the horizontal trim stabilizer also set. So we can advance the thrust levers here for takeoff. So we are ready just for takeoff now. Disarm the parking brakes and go. Also use maximum thrust for this. So we go 80 knots. We have the rudder pedals also for alignment with the runway center line. So V1 we rotate. So here we go. Just rotate for takeoff. So we have the positive gear up, positive rate of climb. So you see as we depart, and we have 16 more minutes left for this, so I'll give you 20. So we need to pit string a little bit the aircraft. So you can see we are 2,400 feet above the ground level, but 4,100 above the sea level. We climb with 5,000 feet per minute. The airspeed is 2,200 knots right now. The stall speed is here, the flaps limit, the pitch altitude of the aircraft about 17 degrees, and the flight plan. So we can see over here. We need to start making the turn now. For the flight plan following. So here we have also the flight plan. We have the engines here, the position, the autopilot, and the position of the thrust levers. So we also gonna have also the outside view here of the aircraft. And we're gonna show you this beautiful view of the Boeing 777. We fly with about 600 kilometers per hour or 250 meters per second, about 600 kilometers an hour. So we climb here, as you can see. Over Switzerland, we have also the beautiful view of the galaxy. So we need also to make a turn again. So we keep climbing. So this nice review with the galaxy also, the star sign over here. So I will show you also back inside to make another turn like this. So we have reached the limit of the stall speed here also. You can see the trend of the airspeed is moving up. You can use other flight level change. And we press this switch will give us the airspeed commanded mode. So we cross 20,000 feet right now, like this. And we can level off for a couple of seconds to increase the airspeed. You can see the warning of the stall speed, the yellow warning. So we're gonna have the first waypoint here. Execute. So this will give us the first waypoint. We need to cross. It's like 3.5, 3.6, to come us away over here. 3.1. The Zui, you can see we climb 30,000 feet. Climbing. So we cross the first waypoint, we go for a second one right now, 35.2 nautical miles away from us, 32,800, 900. We're gonna have, we have the France in this side and Germany in front of us, the Bayern Munich, and the Switzerland here, and we are 33,000 feet right now. 33,300. When we have this gorgeous view, the Boeing 777-300ER with the chemtrails, the frozen vapors, as you can see. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER. We overfly here to Switzerland, this lake, and we have the Germany, the Bayern Munich in front of us, the France. So we're going in a route. Also, you can see these frozen vapors. So I hope you like it. 34,800. So this is our beautiful view. We have the galaxy view right now, as you can see. So we need also to proceed inside the cockpit, because maybe we need to start going back. We need to lift up the flaps here, and we almost reach the cruise altitude. So here's the cruise altitude now. Over here you can see this purple indication. We have to level off here, pitch down a little bit the aircraft, and also we need to start turning back to the airport. So we're going now back to the airport to start the turn. And also need maybe to increase the airspeed that way. So we're gonna be over speed a little bit. So you see this flash. Need to retract the flaps fully. It's commanded automatically. So we keep turning here manually, as you can see. So we're gonna have a nicer view outside where we are. This beautiful view. Just crossing very close to the Bayern Munich here, the region, and the lake and the front kind of. So we have the Germany in this side, as you can see. So this is the Boeing 777-300ER. We're flying with 980 kilometers an hour or 300 meters per second. So we have like 8 more minutes left for this flight. So we have the galactic view over here. So this is spacecraft at night, this beautiful airliner jet aircraft, the Boeing 777-300ER. We're trying to hold manually. And we're gonna use the autopilot on right now. So we're gonna have the autopilot on, and we have like 7 more minutes left. So now we're cruising with the autopilot on 300 meters per second or 980 kilometers an hour. So it's gonna level off over here, and you can see the waypoints. We need to fix the waypoints here. The arrival also, the arrival airspeed. So this is gonna give us a different approach, outlook over here. So we keep cruising here, 35,000. The autopilot on. So we need to start descent over here. So we're gonna have flight level change, real speed, also the altitude. So this is gonna be the autopilot command. This is gonna give us also the speed brakes extend, an idle thrust descent. As you can see, idle thrust for now. And this is gonna be our descent flight path. So we're gonna have around 5 more minutes for this flight, for this video to end. 19,000. So we need also to disconnect the autopilot. Use the Vorlog also. Keep descending, idle thrust. Now we need to start descent and approach. Also the flaps over here extend. So we are into the glide slope. As you can see, we have manual control. So we have 2 more minutes left for this. Over here you can see where we are, to the runway as we descend. So we are closer and closer for the landing. Over here we have about 2 more minutes left. So you can see the Lszh localizer also. We're flying manually. All flight controls are manual right now. Also the thrust levers. So you can see all the flight controls are manual, and we're going for the runway. It's in front of us. We are inside the Lszh localizer, as you can see here. Lszh localizer, glide slope. We need to level off a little bit, so you can see all the information about the runway, the capsule. We are 600 feet above the runway, and we're flying with this airspeed. And we are approaching the airport quite normally. As you can see, all the flight controls, very beautiful approach. Just fix the alignment. We have some side winds sometimes, so we need to use also the rudder pedals here to align. So we have a beautiful alignment like this. City 10. Here we are, just touched down, parking brakes, and reverse thrust, full reverse. So we have the full reverse thrust like that. It's gonna slow us down, and you can see we just made it. Nice center line over here. You can see the aircraft. You can see the nose wheel, the landing gear, the nose wheel. All the tires and the metal parts are safe. Also the landing gear behind it. All the wheels, there is no breakouts over the front wheel over here or the back wheel. So the aircraft is standing up the way it should be.